The news dropped yesterday, and I'm sure you've heard that Aquaman 2 has a release date. December 16th, 2022, which is kind of far out from now, about 4 years. But there's this old saying that if you're going to make a sequel to a movie, it should come out within 5 years of the movie it's a sequel to. So, if you follow that logic, this falls within that rule, because 4 years is less than 5 years, right? So, you know, even though it's kind of long, it's not too long. People will still remember the first Aquaman, and they will still have a Jones in to see it, if you follow the whole 5-year logic. Now, this is interesting because they're trying to repeat the same, success they had with the first Aquaman, which there were multiple reasons why that movie made $1 billion, more than $1 billion. One of which is because Warner Brothers capitalized on the Christmas real estate. Like, there was no action movie, well, not a really big one, coming out on Christmas of December 2018, this past year. And Warner Brothers moved in and said, well, our movie can be the blockbuster of the Christmas season. And since that worked, they want to repeat the same thing, ideally, in 2022, December 16th, 2022. They're hoping that Aquaman 2 would take advantage of that same Christmas release date, in 2022, and repeat the same formula. They want to guarantee there's at least another $1 billion movie in the Aquaman franchise's future, which is great. Now, I recall if you have been watching this channel for a little while, I said before that I didn't think Aquaman 2 was going to get a Christmas release date like the first one did. Looks like I was wrong. But the reason I said that is because I looked on this website called numbers.com. Well, that's the numbers, but they list upcoming movie release dates. And Disney loves Christmas, and they had locked down Christmas for the next 3 years. And I didn't think that Aquaman 2 would come out longer than 3 years from when I made that video. So, I guess Warner Brothers looked at that too. So I basically said that Aquaman 2 wouldn't come out originally around Christmas because Disney had booked Christmas for the next 3 years. But Warner Brothers said, no, we're going to come in 4 years later. I guess they waited for the next open slot. But recall that I mentioned Disney. Disney has claimed December 16th, 2022 as of now for an untitled live-action movie. They aren't saying which movie this is, because I don't think Disney even knows what movie this is yet, because it's 4 years out. But they have booked that date just in case. So I'm thinking Warner Brothers is expecting that Disney will move off of it, because if you remember, Disney did try to slap Aquaman in the face last year by opening Mary Poppins Returns that same exact weekend. And Mary Poppins Returns was defeated pretty handily, right? And so I'm thinking that Warner Bros. Is expecting Disney to cower this time, 2022, and leave that date now that Aquaman 2 is taking it. Especially since it's an untitled Disney film, so they probably don't even know what movie they're going to put on that date yet. But because Disney is Disney, I'm wondering if they may not give up that date pretty easily, because, they like to get very competitive, and, they like to be mercenary with DC. You remember, they released Punisher on Netflix the same weekend that Justice League opened. I think they've done a couple of other things to, try to, show up DC when they can. It just didn't work Aquaman's turn. They tried to do it with Aquaman, but, it didn't work because Aquaman made more money than Mary Poppins Returns. So why aren't they opening Aquaman 2, earlier than that? Well, as I mentioned in my, other video, the next 2 or 3 Christmases are booked by Disney. On this website, I think December 2021, Avatar 3. And, Avatar is a Fox movie, but since Disney's about to buy Fox, that means they own Avatar. And then December 2020 is Avatar 2, right? I'm scrolling down. Yeah, December 2020 is Avatar 2. Oh, and Avatar 2 in December 18th, 2020. And then December 23rd, 2020, there's another Disney movie. Which actually doesn't make sense, because I don't think Disney would have 2 potential blockbusters competing one weekend after another, because they would butcher each other at the box office. So they're going to be moving whatever that untitled Disney live-action movie that comes out on the 23rd to make way for Avatar. Because that just isn't going to work. And then, December 2019... Oh, that's this year. That's Episode 9, which is a Star Wars movie. Disney Star Wars. So you might recall that Bob Iger, who runs Disney, did say it before that they were going to slow down Star Wars and release a Star Wars movie every other year, or even longer than that. So I'm wondering, if Episode 9 comes out December 2019, might Disney try to say, well, we'll just put out Episode 10 on December 18th, 2022. December 16th, 2022. That same weekend that Aquaman's there, Warner Brothers already claimed December 16th for Aquaman, but Disney might be like, we're not going down that easy. We can't let DC, our competitor, take our spot. Let's put Episode 10 on that date. Because, Disney is very, very petty when it comes to DC. I don't know if you've noticed that, but they are. However, we'll see what kind of position Star Wars is in, because the Star Wars fan base is divided, and Star Wars may not be as, much of a guaranteed success as it used to be, because we saw what happened to Solo, and there are a lot of people saying that they're going to boycott Episode 9 this year. So we'll see how Episode 9 does financially. If Episode 9 makes $1 billion plus, and I still think it could, then, they could decide, to slap DC in the face, be like, well, we'll just put Episode 10 the same time as Aquaman 2. Take that, DC. But if Episode 9, underperforms, as some people are thinking it might because the Star Wars fan base is so angry right now, they might not, really have the gall to put a follow-up to Episode 10 against Aquaman 2. Because, Star Wars won't be in a strong enough position for it to be a guaranteed, slap in DC's face. Because Episode 10, if the Star Wars franchise is really healthy, would be a much stronger competitor than, something like Mary Poppins Returns, right? Or, Dumbo 2, or whatever. Assuming the first Dumbo that comes out this year doesn't do well. Maybe the first Dumbo live action that's coming out, I think in May, maybe that's going to be a really good movie. Who knows? But, do not underestimate the pettiness of Disney. So, I would love it as a DC fan if Aquaman 2 would be able to take December 16th, 2022, unchallenged. But, Disney is mercenary, and we'll see how they respond to this. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.